Hey, what's going on everybody? Mr. Dragon47 here. Today, we're going to be doing a top tier weapons list for the Team Fortress 2 Medic. Before we get this going, I just want to say I will only be doing 5 weapons per slot, providing that there are 5. Also, these are mostly in my opinion. Let's jump right in here to the primary slot. Number 4, Blutsauger. While being an actually okay thing to use, it's really not the best weapon to use situationally. As a medic, you regenerate about 3 health points per second, and your main job is to heal people. With this weapon equipped, you only regenerate 1 health point per second. Whenever you attack someone with this weapon, every successful hit gives you 3 health points back. The main problem with this is that unless you're a battle medic, the Blutsauger can lead to your death a lot more than you probably think. Number 3, Overdose. This is a terrific weapon to use if you feel like you can't get away from enemies' attacks. If you don't know, the medic moves at 107% speed, slightly faster than most classes. When you have full Ubercharge and you pull this weapon out, you go 10% faster, so that's 117. That may not seem like much, but take into consideration, a normal scout goes 125%. The different speed only occurs when you have the Overdose out. The only downside is that it does 10% less damage to players. Also, with each 10% of your Uber meter filled up, you go 1% faster. Again, it may not seem like much, but this weapon will be saving your butt a lot more than you may think. Number 2, the Syringe Gun. The Syringe Gun does anywhere from 5 to 10 damage per syringe, firing at 10 per second, depending on range. The farther away you are from someone, the less damage a single syringe will do. You have 40 syringes loaded and 150 carried. The Syringe Gun is used when enemies attack you and you have no one else around to help. For me anyway, it's an odd weapon to use. It isn't a bullet weapon, but it isn't really a projectile either. The arc on the syringe is just too weird for me. That's why number 1 is Crusader's Crossbow. This isn't like any of the other syringe guns. Instead of having a rapid-fire, small damage clip, it has 1 syringe loaded that does anywhere from 25 to 75 damage, depending on range. But unlike the Syringe Gun or any other syringe guns, the farther you are from someone, the more damage it does. It also reloads 40% faster than the regular Syringe Gun, and with the new nerf, or buff, or update to this weapon, whatever you want to say, you can reload without having the crossbow out. Now, this that I'm about to tell you is the reason why I love this weapon so much. If you cannot reach a teammate who needs healing with your Medi-Gun, you can aim this at them and heal them with the syringe. Now, I main Demo Man, and the medic for my 6's team, Uriah, is just crazy amazing with this weapon. Quite a few times I have been saved by him with this. For example, I was on Badlands Spire and really low health. Uriah noticed that he couldn't heal me or keep me in time. He shot me with a crossbow from Choke, which is that really narrow space in the middle point, if you didn't know, and saved my life. Just to let you know, his channel will be in the description of this video. Go check him out, he's pretty cool. Anyway, let's continue on to the secondary slot. Okay, there aren't any bad Medi-Guns, but I base these on how often they'd be better to use in different situations than others. Number 4, Vaccinator. Okay, wait, maybe there is a bad one. No, actually I've never really played with this weapon, but I do know that it's very confusing to use. Apparently they added this whole new keybind just for this weapon. Anyway, it has a 50% faster Ubercharge rate, but overheals 66% slower than the regular Medi-Gun. What's different about this Medi-Gun is that you can switch between 3 resistance types. There are 3: bullet, explosive, and fire damage. When you're healing someone, you and your target have a 10% resistance to whichever damage you choose. When Ubered, you have a 75% resistance to whatever you choose. Number 3, the Quick Fix. Even though this may seem like an overpowered weapon, it's still not the greatest to use. It has a 40% better healing rate, Uber charges raised by 25%, You match the speed of your targets you're healing, and if you're healing a soldier, demo man, and they rocket or sticky jump, you will also. The huge downside to this is the fact that you do 50% less overheal than the stock Medi-Gun. I honestly don't see why they made it do a 50% overheal. I personally think it was perfectly balanced whenever you couldn't overheal with it at all. I still haven't got very used to it, to be quite honest, and that's why it's number 3. Number 2, Kritzkrieg. Now, in certain situations, the Kritzkrieg would be better to use than the Medi-Gun, but the reason it's a number 2 is because the Medi-Gun will be a whole lot better in more situations. Anyway, the Kritzkrieg has a 25% faster Uber charge rate. When you Uber with it, instead of making you invulnerable, it makes you and your healing target, it just makes your healing target do critical hits. Whenever I use this, I try my best to get crits. When I use this, I try my best to crits a good demo or soldier, since their rockets, stickies, grenades do a huge amount of damage anyway, and putting crits on it will make you able to wipe out an entire team. Number 1, the Medi-Gun. This is easily the best Medi-Gun to use. It takes anywhere from 40 to 80 seconds, depending on who you're healing, to fully charge the Medi-Gun, as long as you're healing someone. Once the Medi-Gun is fully charged, you can pop your Uber, and you and whoever you're healing will become invulnerable for 8 seconds. If you watch a 6v6 or Highlander match or scrim or something of that matter, you may see that a scout hitting themselves with a Boston Basher. What they're doing is making the Uber charge come quicker, and this is known as building Uber. You can also do it with a soldier by aiming a rocket at your feet and just shooting yourself while the medic is healing you. It's very helpful for when the other team has an Uber advantage and you need to get Uber quickly. Now let's move on to the melee slot. Number 5, the Bonesaw. There's nothing super special about this weapon. It does 65 damage on a regular hit and 195 on a crit. Really, that's all there is. Number 4, the Solemn Vow. This is a direct upgrade to the Bonesaw. It does the same amount of damage that the Bonesaw does. What this weapon allows you to do is see your enemy's health. It also sometimes has a very weird hitbox. Mostly anytime you, or at least I, get killed with this weapon, it always makes me think, what? How did that hit me? Just my opinion. Number 3, Amputator. As of the Two Cities update, this weapon has really changed the way it's supposed to be used. Before, I would have just put it right over the Bonesaw. Anyway, if you're playing Medic, you already heal over time, and having this you already heal over time, and this is like 3 health points per second. But when you have this weapon, it makes you have 6 health points per second regenerated. That's pretty good if you ask me. You can also taunt with this weapon and heal nearby teammates, except for pickaxe wielding or escape plan wielding soldiers or cloak spies. The only downside to this weapon is the fact that it does 20% less damage. But really, you're a medic. You're not supposed to go around to the battle and kill people. Especially with the saw, you're supposed to heal them. As a quote from the medic himself, "The healing leaves little time for the hurting." Well, at that, another quote from the medic is, "The healing is not as rewarding as the hurting." Number 2, Vita-Saw. This is a great weapon to use if you can't seem to stay alive as medic that well. First of all, the downside is that when you have it equipped, you have 10 less health, making your health 140. Now, how does this help me stay alive? Well, that's not the point of it. What it does is whenever you die, you keep the amount of Uber you have up to 20%. If you have 10% when you die, you spawn with 10%. If you die with 50%, you'll spawn with 20%. If you die with anything over 20, you will always spawn with 20. It's great for when you can't stay alive because you retain your Uber. Say that you and a medic on the other team both have 75% Uber and you both die at the same time. When you respawn, you will automatically have 20% Uber advantage over them. Unless, of course, they're also using the Vita-Saw. And that's why this is number 2. Number 1, the Ubersaw. This is my favorite medic weapon because, okay, get this. You have to hit someone with it, 25% Uber. That's crazy. I mean, you can get 4 hits and have a full Uber charge. The only downside is that that there's a 20% slower firing rate. And I said this for the KGB for the heavy. If you use this weapon long enough, it's almost a direct upgrade because you just get used to the slowing firing rate, and it makes it seem like normal firing rate after a long period of time. With the KGB, you get crits for killing someone but slower firing rate. With Ubersaw, you get Uber for hitting someone but slower firing rate. I just think that slowing firing rate isn't really that huge of a deal because, like I said, you just get used to it. Well, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe for more. Leave any suggestions in the comments below, and I will see you lovely people later.